Alright, so I have just finished watching Zeta Gundam. If you've watched any of my other Gundam reviews, you know it's been quite a little while since the last one of these, and that's how long it's taken me to get through Zeta, simply because it's 50 episodes, and also I've been quite busy over the handful of, many weeks. In fact, I'll have a quick gander, hold on. Just because I think it'll be interesting to know how long it's been. I think the last one I watched was Thunderbolt. See if I can find my Thunderbolt video real quick. Here we are. It's been a month at least. Let me have a gander. When did this go up? It's nearly been 2 months since, it's just short of 2 months since I reviewed, Thunderbolt. It probably will be three? What the fuck am I on about? 2 months by the time this goes up. But yes. It's taken me quite a while to watch all of Zeta Gundam, and it's been in very sporadic segments. It's not been a consistent, I watch an amount, take a break, then, it's been like, I watch a couple episodes and I go like a week without watching any. So if there's bits and pieces that I don't remember or get wrong, that's why. Feel free to correct me in the comments. But yes, Zeta Gundam. I quite enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed Zeta Gundam more than 0079 overall, at least. On the whole, I would say that. This opening act of Zeta Gundam actually took me by surprise. I was not expecting Kamyu. That's how I'm going to say his name. I watch in Japanese. It's how they say his name. That's what I'm used to him being called. Alright, leave me alone. To do what he does, stealing a Mark II Gundam from the Titans, or Titans in the Japanese, the Titans, and fucking joining Aoug, where we have good old Quattro, or Shah, as, well, we know he really is. And that's really cool. I genuinely was not expecting Kamyu to do what he did, and it immediately made me like him more than Amuro, if I'm being honest. Although he is probably just as whiny, if not more so at times. And by the end of the show, he's lobotomized. If fucking new type brainwave shenanigan nonsense, right? Yeah, it is what it is. One cool thing about Kamyu as well is he really does show what new types can do, which is one of my biggest gripes with 0079. Is it didn't really introduce new types, but then it kind of just went, yeah, they can do stuff. What can they do? Stuff that's not what normal people can do. The brainy psychic shit, kind of. And it's really vague and ambiguous. And while what new types can do is still vague and ambiguous and space magic-y, at least it's more fleshed out in Zeta, and primarily through Kamyu. In fact, let's talk about the new type stuff first, actually, I think. Yeah, go on, since I'm here. This is going to be very rambly, but if you've watched any of these before, you'd expect this. But yeah. It's a bit weird. So the controlling stuff with your mind, that's reasonable. Like, I guess, like we see with the Psycho Gundam, where 4 can, call it to her with her mind. Haman controls the gun bits that she has in the, Queble, her fucking mobile suit that she uses, that has little gun bits that shoot out the back. She controls those with new type shenanigan powers, I imagine. Any other new typey stuff like that we see? We definitely, that's what, oh yeah, and to be fair, I'll talk about the mobile suits as well, in this series, for Zeta as well, because it's just something. But yeah, and then the weirdest one that I think makes no sense. Yeah, sure, being able to control stuff with your mind. Okay, sure, I'll let that slide. But having your psychic brainwaves, or the new type brainwave psychic thingamagubbins, act as a shield to protect you from lasers. Where? Like, it's when Kamyu is fighting Yazan right at the end of Zeta, and the Zeta Gundam is glowing purple, and Yazan's shots are just hitting him and doing nothing. Like, what? Why? How does that work? That is a bit strange. I don't get that. That one feels a bit bullshit, if you ask me, but hey. I'm sure someone will have a better explanation for it than the show gave of basically nothing. Yeah. Move on to the mobile suits. I actually quite like most of them. There are... Well, actually, I say... Okay, most of them might be a stretch. There's a handful that I like. I really like the Zeta. I think the Zeta is really cool. Initially, I didn't like it, but it grew on me the more the show went on. I like the Hyakushiki. The Rick Dias is really cool as well. And a handful of the Titans mobile suits are alright. But other than that, most of them are a bit fucking goofy. Like, what in God's name is the Methus? Like, what is that? And a lot of the transforming mobile suits look really goofy. I'm not a big fan of those designs, at least for most of them. At least with the Zeta, it looks like a normal mobile suit, right? That's the Zeta's. That's what saves the Zeta from having the goofy transforming mobile suit designs. It needs to look like a Gundam because it is a Gundam. You know what I mean? It's also cool that Kamyu designs the Zeta. I think that's pretty neat. Also, the fact that it can siphon and harness and utilize the lives of people through new type shit. What? How do you even fucking develop that? How does that even make any sense? Is it because they say it's the Zeta doing it, but what about the Zeta lets it do that? What? Fucking hell. But I mean, to be fair, Zeta's not finished. There is double Zeta, obviously, afterward. So I hope some more of it will be explained in greater detail there, although I doubt it, because again, Kamyu is fucking lobotomized at the end of the show. Poor guy. He just wanted the fighting to stop. And I mean, it did. At what cost? But yeah. Let's talk about the characters, I guess. So, Kamyu I've already touched upon. Fa is an interesting one, because she's obviously supposed to parallel Fraubo from the original 0079. And I think she does a better job of being a compelling female character than Fraubo does, at least in my opinion. She's more involved in what's going on, and isn't just a caretaker to the kids that are on the ship. Although she does end up being a caretaker to kids that end up on the Argama. As for why these kids are on the Argama, I do not know. They, at some point, are supposed to be dropped off at a place. But why the Argama's doing this, I don't know. Why they don't get dropped off because they refuse to. They want to stay with Fa. And then they're just there on the ship for the rest of the show. And it's like, why are these kids here? The white base having them made a bit more sense, for at least until they could get rid of them. But the Argama having them makes no fucking sense. From a plot perspective, I get it. It's for the sake of developing Fa's character and, you know, allowing her to be female and not just be a female soldier, you know, be a woman, which is kind of integral to Rekoa's character and the arc she goes through. And with the show eventually leading to her death at the end. That's also one thing with... what the fuck? My PC is doing some mad shit. You might have just heard that. It's just decided to do a bunch of stuff out of nowhere. I assume OBS is still recording right now. So if you heard any, like, sounds, that's my PC, not yours. What the fuck? I'm not even gonna edit this out. This is scuffed as anything. But hey, this is what these are. This is the type of content I put out. What was I saying? I just got completely sidetracked by that. What the fuck is that? What was I on about? Something about Rekoa. Ah, Christ. Oh, yes! So, only a handful of characters die in the early... Obviously, right at the beginning, Kamiyu's parents die. And then a couple of people relevant to, say, Jared die as well. And then there's basically very few deaths of relevant characters up until the last 2 episodes where fucking everyone dies. Like, so many people die right at the end. It's unreal. Katz dies, Rekoa dies, Emma dies. I don't think Yazan's dead, and Shah is obviously not dead. I think Yazan's cockpit ejected from the mobile suit he was in, so I think Yazan might still be alive. Jared dies as well, speaking of him, right? Rosami dies. Fucking... Haman dies. It seems like she's dead, although she could possibly be alive. But that's up for debate. Obviously, Shiroko dies. Shiroko is a bit of a underwhelming antagonist, if you ask me. He's around for a lot longer than Haman is, but I feel like Haman is handled better. They both are kind of schemy, and they're trying to pull the strings and get an outcome that they are aiming for, and yet Haman does it a lot better. It seems like her schemes and her ploys actually amount to something, whereas Shiroko's just there being like, yes, the world will be ruled by a woman. And I mean, yeah, sure, I believe him, possibly. Initially, I was like, well, our main character's got a female name, so, haha. And then the end happens. So, I don't think Kamiyu is going to be ruling the world at any time soon. Oh, Jesus. Who else died? But yeah, loads of people die at the end. And it's like goes from 0 to a fucking 100 in that. You also get this big, set piece battle at the end as well, which is really nice. Also, clashing of ideologies as well. I do very much like the ending in its entirety. There are just a few, like the fucking space magic, new type power bullshit with the Zeta, and the fact Kamiyu ends up lobotomized at the end. Those two things are like basically the only things I don't like about the ending. All around though, pretty good conclusion to what is like the first act of this new age post 0079. How many years has it been? 7 years, something like that. I can't remember. I can't remember the exact amount of time that was said. Also, it's really cool to see the old cast, some members of the old cast show up. Obviously, Bright Captain is very relevant. He's the captain of the Argama because Shah lets him be. And I mean, yeah, cool. He's there. He Bright slaps Kamiyu as he Bright slaps a lot of people. To less effect, I'd say, than with Amuro, but more within. I don't know what point I'm trying to say. I can't fucking find the words. It's late at night. All right, leave me alone. Christ, this is such a bad review, isn't it? Or discussion. Fuck me. Yeah, Amuro. He starts out as being a little bitch, and then he kind of gets back into it. Beltorchica is an interesting one. Amuro clearly has a type. Let's just say he likes his blondes. I mean, fair. I'm not going to judge. Good taste. Yeah, but then we don't really see much of Amuro or a lot of the old cast, other than Katz and Bright and Shah, obviously. After Kamiyu and everyone get back into space. A lot more of the show takes place in space as opposed to... Well, it's probably equal amounts in both, actually, for 0079. But it feels like a lot more of this takes place in space, and there's only a very small segment of them being on Earth. Although there are technically two. Two short segments on Earth, and then most of it, takes place in space. Shah, I guess, is probably the last character I'm going to talk about. I'm probably going to not make this too long. But Shah Aznavour. Quattro Bagina Tai. Interesting. His speech that he gives, I can't remember. It's in the the last third. He goes back to he's on Earth, if I remember. Yes, he is. It's not long after the leader of AU gets assassinated by Jamitov. Yeah, that speech really cool. Like it. I'm looking forward to seeing how Shah develops in Double Zeta, in leading into Shah's counterattack. 'Cause I know Shah's counterattack's a thing. Because I imagine that for Shah's counterattack, he's going to be a villain again. Not, basically a deuteragonist of Zeta. I'm looking forward to seeing how, what his end goal is, Because with Aug, the Aug's philosophy is, stop polluting the Earth. And Shah's with them on that. But I wonder what Shah's true end goal is. It's definitely, if I think about it a bit more, and probably rewatch some episodes, I'd probably be able to figure it out. But right now, no. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Because obviously, clearly it's not the resurrection of Zeon, because otherwise he would have sided with Haman and Minerva. Also, where's Minerva's mother? I can't remember her name. Obviously her dad's dead, because we see him die in 0079 when they attack Solomon. But her mother escapes in a pod with her. So where's Minerva's mother at? Like, where is she, huh? Where'd she go? She's gone? Okay, sure, fine. Alright. It's strange that this child has been left unsupervised and is now the figurehead of Axis. Strange, but hey, sure, I guess. Yeah. I don't really have much to say about Emma. I don't really... She's there, I guess. The cyber new types, Kyoka Ningen, which just meaning fucking cyber, basically just androids, but kind of, not actually, but sure, we'll go with that. But the cyber new types, they're an interesting concept. Humanity trying to force new type development instead of just waiting for its natural evolution, which is almost in contrast to Shah's just, it will happen eventually, as he says, toward the end. They're interesting, and how they affect Kamiyu as a character. Specifically 4 is the main one. And how Sara affects Katsu. Like, fucking hell, Katsu. Jesus Christ, you're... I get that he's young, but he's around the same age as Kamiyu, and Kamiyu handles it a lot better than fucking Katsu does. Like, Jesus, man. Grow up. Like, she said she doesn't want to be with you, dude. Just get over it, man. It ain't that deep. It is what it is. Yeah. If there's any particular events or characters and such that you'd like more concise comments or thoughts of mine about, drop in the comments. I will get to it. But yeah, with that out of the way, those have been my thoughts on Zeta Gundam. Next up will be Double Zeta, I'm pretty sure. And with that out of the way, I've been Animosity. You've been you. And I have said, this has been such a fucking rambly 17 minutes. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I did really enjoy Zeta on the whole. So yeah, thought I'd close it on a good note. But yes, with that out of the way, I've been Animosity. You've been you. And over to next time for another video. Ta-ta. Bye now.